Steve! Hello and welcome back to episode 13 of the Aurora series. New episode yesterday as I decided to take a little bit of a break. Hope you guys have enjoyed the recent episodes, but before we get into today's episode, I do want to say if you do like the series, if you want to see more of it, consider commenting, liking, and subscribing. These things do really matter. And if you want to seriously support the channel, joining as a member is the best way to do that. Alright, so where were we? Well, we were in the process of reorganization, rearming, and planning for the future. And just before today's episode, I decided to do just that in one way or another. I have renamed a lot of all our components and all our weapon systems to have proper names that are not just the base ones. So we have things like the 155mm caliber Rheinmetall Orion railgun, which is a 15cm railgun, which has 1x4 here, as you can see. I have the AN3K BFC 144, so that is our fire control radar. And then we have VLS and our missile fire control, and then our sensors and all this. And, this adds to the RP. It also is nice to see, of course. It means we don't have those in stock names. Now, in terms of our ground forces, this is really what I want to focus on this episode. I want to do another invasion. So currently we have, as stipulated, we have 6 heavy mechanized companies. We have 3 normal companies. And we need to get these formations ready to go. We're researching at the moment APCs and HQs, which we will need to actually make these formations. We are also refitting a great many designs right now, including 2 new Aberdeen-class cruiser vessels, which will be on the way. And we are preparing, for a lot of ways, the next generation of warship. And as part of that, I want to be considering the next generation warships in other regards. We need to start updating our designs, updating our things. So we're going to start with today's episode. I'm going to be updating the Soryu class design. Now, right now it's 14,000 tons. I want to up this to 20,000 tons, and I want to give it a strike group capacity of 24. Including magazine capacity. So what we're going to do, what we're going to put on it, is we're going to grab ourselves some prototype magazines. We're going to grab ourselves a 700 and, 750. That would be enough for 3 loads for a F3 or F4. We'll design a new magazine for this. So assuming that we want, let's say, 24. Yeah, we'll do 24 normal fighters. What I might do is I might just put missiles on the vessel itself, to be honest. Yeah, well, I think we'll do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab itself, give it some hangar decks. So we're going to increase the capacity so much that it can be able to hold 24 F4s. So we're going to put on 1, 2, 3, 4, so 10,000 tons of capacity. So this should then allow it to hold 25 F4s. We're going to have 24 F4s. I want to put then on P2s, P1 sensor crafts, which we currently are not able to. I also got ourselves the fleet carrier. I also probably named this as a fleet carrier. I do need to add in the P1 sensor crafts on there as well. We don't have enough capacity for that, it seems. 12 F3, 36 F4, 2 KC1. We might need some more capacity, but for now, two P1 sensor crafts are fine, and we've got a final strike group there. But going back over to the Soryu, we're gonna have that larger hangar capacity, and as part of this, we need to figure out the new transport speeds. So let's have a look at our standard freighter, right? So our freighter, Anking class freighter. Copy the design. We're going to name this as block 2, okay? And I'm going to then take out the current engines, which are 2,225 or 2,250 tons. Take them out, and we're going to put in new commercial engines, new commercial engines. which we're going to need, of course. We are currently on the way of getting this research done, but there's not much point in getting the 375 if we are going to have ion drives anyway. And I'm not sure we've begun research of that. We have begun research, yes, but commercial ion drive EP375. EP375. I'm not sure why I've named it this. This should be component to IDC or ion drive commercial. So just there we go. So that does, they do 375 EP. So what, and they go 3,000 tons. So what we're going to do is we're then going to go over to our SOU class. We're going to grab engines. I'm also going to put on, where the hell is it? Extended. There should be an extended view, I would imagine. Wide view. There we go. God, I'm forgetting these things. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on the new ID375s. So onto the freighter. So ID375. So current old design is that tonnage. So we want to probably make under that tonnage in terms of size. So that'll increase the range by that much. What about going up to 375? That gives us 2,000. That gives us 2,200. Yeah, I think 82.5 million kilometers is fine. Let's go for a 4-engine configuration. So that gets us, approximately speaking, a total range, pretty good range, but also 40,000 tons as the maximum on that. I do need to remove some of this fuel just to iron it out. Otherwise, it does look a bit funky. So that gives us a 20 billion kilometer range increase. It does give us a BP increase, but that gives us a speed of 1,835 kilometers per second. So what we're going to do is we're going to then say, okay, the design needs to be able to fit that terms of speed. So if we go over, if I bring up a calculator, so I'm going to bring up the Aurora ship optimizer, bring it up once more. And what we're going to do is we're going to optimize this ship. So we're going to go for a 20,000 ton design. Going to be military in nature. It's going to have a speed of 1,875 kilometers per second, and it's going to have a range. So currently our range is on the SOU is 130 billion kilometers. Based on our freighter speeds, it has a range of 85 billion kilometers. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this a range of 80 billion kilometers. So this gives us two engines. Yeah, two engines with a fuel of 1.75 million, an engine HS of 86. And it gives us a free, so that'll use 6,000 tons. Right now we're using these two, so that is using a lot less in terms of our tonnage. But what we can do is, I believe we have better fuel capacity. I think we do. If I go over to our engine technologies, we have 0.7, and that's why we need to start replacing our commercial vessels, because our fuel efficiency is a lot better now. So size 40. Yeah, that works a lot better for us. That gives us 5,500 tons to play with. So that gives us a lot more in terms of our capacity. 0.75 at a engine size of 40. So that is what we will go for. We'll go for engine size 40. We'll go for 0.75. And that gives us a engine power of 375 EP. We're going to name this the General Harima ID 37550 engine, and get that prototyped. Then we're going to add that to the design. So add in engines. So ID 375. No, not onto this. Yes, onto this. That's what I'm talking about. We set the engines off first. So 1, 2. So there's those two engines now on. No, that's a lot smaller actually. Only 4,000 tons in terms. So that does actually free up a little bit of space there, and there's a lot more efficient in terms of the fuel we'll need. We'll need a little bit more fuel in terms of total fuel, but it's not too much of a problem. There you go, 1.5 million kilometers. Deployment time of 5 years, so 5-year journeys at 10,000 ton in terms of capacity. We're not going to be able to put space on for a magazine, unfortunately speaking. However, we can, of course, This gives us 2 wings of forces. I would like to put on enough for a car. What I would like is to put on for our rescue shuttle, because the facts are is that these are going to be probably rescuing stuff as needed. So we could go for 11,000 ton carrier, but maybe adding on a actual railgun defenses could be useful, though I don't think it will be too useful. We need to increase the maintenance life. That's a minimum. So go to maintenance engineering spaces. And we're going to try and get this down to, I would say, a 3% ratio is more than okay. 5 years, that's more than okay as well. Yeah, 2 engines. We are nearly doubling that, but that is getting us a very small speed increase, but getting us a speed increase, getting us a, most importantly, doubling the number of fighters that we're going to have for only a 6,000 ton increase in terms of total space. Again, I would love to add on another hangar and then add in a rescue shuttle. What I might do, because I would imagine, so we have 10,000 tons of capacity. That means we can hold 24 F4s. We can hold 25 F4s. It means we have 400 tons available. So what I might do is bring us down like that. We have 20 F4s available. And we can go for 2 K1s or C1s. Yeah, we can have 2 C1s, and then those rescue shuttles can act as, how they need to act. In terms of sensor capabilities, we are going to adjust the sensors. So I'm going to take off the current active sensor, as I don't think it's too useful. And I'm going to put on, I also need to rename some of these. We're going to put on the new set of sensors. So I'm going to put on this sensor. So that's 50 ton, 10 million kilometer range. We got our thermal and electromagnetic sensors. Those are fine. And I think I might increase the armor rating. I'm not too certain on that. 3,300. We've got plenty of most things. I'll add some fuel just to sort that part of it out. There we go. So 1.6 million liters of fuel. 19,408 tons. Well, we can probably buff in some armor here. 2 layers now. There's not much. I mean, yeah, probably. We probably want to add some armor. Yeah, I'll add 3 layers of armor in, which is not a lot, but it may be able to survive, the odd hit or whatever if we get someone right on top of us. And then as part of that, I will get rid of that fuel, and we will go for. Now the main thing that we want to do though is we want to match that 80 billion kilometers of the Block 2 freighter. Freighter Block 2. So that's 81.8 billion kilometers. So we need to reach that, and to reach that, 2 layers of armor. We're gonna have to put more fuel on. Just the facts of it. Just gonna have to put more fuel on. And it will add in some extra fuel as well. So there we go. 1.7 million liters of fuel. 10,000 tons of capacity, big size increase, big crew increase. It's going to need a lot more in general of different things. It's got a better sensor for its actual duties. It's got rescue. It'll have rescue shuttles now and have 24 F4 fighters on it. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. We're going to obviously, so our Sawyer class vessels are named after provinces. So what we're going to do is we're going to select a new name. We're going to call this. We're going to call this, where is it? Mountains, moons. Let's do a new moon name. I like moons. That's what our cruisers are named after. Let us go for then sea creatures, Star Trek ships, swords, types of storm. I like types of storm. Let's go for the Blizzard class escort carrier. And we'll obviously need to also put that in. So types of storm. There we go. So now we have the Blizzard escort carrier. We're going to need to research that engine, and then we can begin building that. We have made great progress, actually, with our shipyards, and we're nearly at 60,000 tons, so we'll nearly be able to produce the new Luthien-class carriers once we've got the research underway. In terms of our ground forces, we're currently building up a lot of STOs, but we do have some STO available. We've got some capacity now available. What I'm waiting for, however, is I'm waiting for the Amur and also the other stuff. So let's actually get incrementing along. We've spent too much time already on this. And so yeah, let's do 1 day increments here. 3rd Division headquarters trained. That's fantastic news. Keep incrementing along. 2 refits. So the Prospero and the Stefano have been refitted. So if we go over into naval organization, so the Stefano is now refitted. So we now have 2 proper destroyer escorts there, and then also we had the new what was it? The Prospero was finished up, and that should be part of this group. Yes, there we go. That nearly has full ammo as well, by the way, which is damn good. We don't have full ammo in these, which is a bit of a problem. So that gives us a full destroyer there. We're going to hold off for now on. I mean, I probably just want to continue our refits, to be honest. We can continue refitting older classes. So refit from Hosho. Yeah, we just have the Tethi, so we've got to refit now. That costs us 900. So that, if we compare that to the Hosho, so we're saving like 1,000, 1,200, 1,300 bill points for doing that, which is pretty damn good. And someone did mention as well the costs. Looking for that Galasite is, I mean, really, the only place we got the Galasite is going to be on Europa, which we've actually begun our colonization efforts on, which is fantastic news. We are beginning some serious colonization work, and then we can begin to actually get some miners employed onto here and get them going, of course. We also now have the Alpha 3 moon, which is growing up its population. We'll only be able to send over Governor and some other stuff. We complete construction of ordnance factories, which is fantastic news. I'm also going to put an order in now. I'm going to reduce this to 75%, and I'm going to put an order in for fighters F3Bs to be constructed. I want 25 F3Bs at 25% capacity to be constructed. And those are obviously going to be what are missile. We'll modify this to 24. 24. We need, that'll give us 2 wings of F3B fighters, which we'll need on our new carriers, and will have to be obviously researched. A more APC HQ. So that should now allow us to begin training up. So we need 3 of them to be built. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a HQ reserve. HQ reserve. And I'm just going to put the more HQs, the new HQs. I'm going to put 3 of them in there, and I'm going to just order that up to be constructed as soon as possible. So just get that built, and then we just need to continue to wait on the other research, of course, as well. Are we training up more Zukaku M's? Yes, we are. So that they'll be able to replace those. And we'll need a total of 5 of them realistically to move the division around. Stefano completed their overhaul. We complete research into commercial magazines. So what we can now do is go over to our support vessel, and we can add in commercial magazines, which should be very, very nice for us. So 1,000 tons of capacity. So I can hold 1,000 anti-missile missiles, which we will have in the future here. A lot of fuel. MSP. Where's the MSP gone? Yeah, there should be MSP on this ship. MSP, maintenance supplies, storage, maintenance storage. We'll add in, so I believe we need about 5k. Yeah, about 5k. So we can remove, so 5,000 liters of fuel there. Take out this fuel storage, add in some small fuel storages. There we go, 60,000 tons. Same size as our carriers. Make sure this is a tanker. Make sure that this is a supply ship. Make sure this is a collier as well. And there we go, Megami class support vessel. We're currently waiting on that engine to be produced, which is going to be quite a bit away. And that will replace our tankers. Not replace them, so to speak, but it will replace that shipyard for use. Obviously, I'm probably gonna change the Hugo out for another vessel. And we are also getting the Block 2. If I go over to our Anking Block 2, that is going to be being researched, and we're waiting on that to be researched, and that's going to be, quite a bit of time until we can, obviously. 5 research labs currently available on Earth. I'm going to put this towards ground forces. I'm going to put this towards ground force because we need those done as soon as possible so that we can actually retake our homeland. HQ reserve done, which is fantastic news, and free up these tankers pretty easily if what we do is we're going to detach 5 of these. Detach 5. And so we mine 24 million liters of fuel a year. So that means we mine 12 million liters every 6 months, 6 million liters every 3 months, or so every 2 months-ish. Every 2 months, we need to go and grab the fuel. So what we will do is we will set this up so that when this will mean that we'll get fuel on a more regular basis, but it will also mean we're using less tankers, which can be freed up for other activities, which is obviously very, very important. So we're going to refuel from stationary tankers. I'm going to do this. We're gonna do this every. What will that be? Let me think. So. Yeah, divided. So 251 that many seconds. I'm just looking it up for you guys. There we go. So refuel, that'll take 2 months. And then we will go and transfer fuel to Colony and we will cycle those move orders. And so that should drastically mean that we're getting our fuel much quicker. But over the year, we're getting that fuel a lot better. So I'm going to move these tankers now over into... I'm going to create a new reserve. And we'll create a new fleet, tanker reserve. And I will put these tankers now under that because we have no current use for them. But we can obviously make use of them as needed, wherever we want. We have a research lab available. Let's put that into assign new. We nearly have those Lieutenant MBTs done. We built the JNS Yucatan, which has been assigned to carrier reserve. And so that is fantastic news. We're going to need to get her fighters. So we will create, if I remember correctly, we should be on. If I go over to Space Defense Force, also fire defenses. No. If I go, 4, 5, 9th, 14. I think 114. I think 114. I may be wrong. We'll create the 15th. So superiority fighter squadron 15. And we will not give it a name yet. I need to grab out our fighters in reserve. So we will give these the new F4 class fighters. So we will grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. We'll have to actually wait for that, to be honest. I'm going to detach these, and these are going to go for the carrier. So if I go over to Second Fleet, the Normandy has the Guardians of Arrakis, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to land those there. So there we go. The Guardians of Arrakis now have some of the most advanced fighters in the fleet. And we're going to keep those in that squadron accordingly. And we'll build out this squadron and build out these destroyers, because we're currently building a lot of normal destroyers to actually be able to meet up with the destroyer counts that we need. Right now, the problem is obviously that the tooling is a big issue. We're also building up a lot of shipyards. We're waiting for another naval shipyard to be completed. There's a lot of things going on and underway. In terms of the Alpha system, do we have a carrier squadron currently in service? No, I think that is... You're orbiting Kareem. Yeah, let's get you home. Head back to Sol. Refuel, resupply. Begin overhaul. There's no reason for you to be over Alpha right now. Good job on your mission. We'll get you home, get you safe. Production of commercial gas core engines has been completed. We're now going to put this into the construction of troop transport bays, which are used for the construction of large troop transports, which we are building. In terms of Navy tugs, those Navy tugs need to get out of there. That's for damn sure. Go over to Navy tugs. We're going to bring you back into Sol system because you're obviously not protected there. Refuel as needed. Fuel supplies are increasing. We've got more mining companies. In terms of our financial situation, we are now doing better. We've got a lot of expenditure. A lot of this is coming in from shipbuilding, so we need to start expanding our industry in other ways. Navy tugs can complete orders. Destroyer Squadron 4 is now back home, so that is our Destroyer Squadron over here. They were the ones who destroyed those enemy ships, but they are doing okay now. They'll be overhauling and preparing themselves once more. Navy tugs have reached Earth. 2 Zukaku-class M vessels have been constructed. We're going to order up an immediate 3rd or 5th vessel, and that will create ourselves our initial ships. So that they've been assigned to Shipyard Fleet 1. We will move those directly over now to the Mobility Naval Mobility Group 1, Transport Squadron 1. So we will go over here, Tigerfish, and then the Triggerfish as well. And we will then detach the normal Zukakus. Detach the normal Zukakus, detach them, and then we're going to bring them over into Mobility Squadron. This squadron over here, we'll do 5 here, and that will give us, or we can wait for another one. That gives us $375,000. We can use it for auxiliary stuff. In terms of our new carrier, or this, we're going to have to wait. How many F-Force? We need another 12. Yeah, another 12 F-Force to be able to go for that. Lithium MBT done. So what we'll do is we will begin formation template a change. We will add in delete elements. We're going to add in Luthien MBT CHQ. I'm going to add in 6 of those to be constructed immediately. I'm going to put an order for, if I go into my ground force construction, I'm going to put in an order right now, and we've got them all available. We're going to go for HQ reserves. We're going to put in 1 HQ reserve, and if I go over now to our order of battle, I can begin handing out these new HQs. So 1, there we go, 1, and then 1, and then with these older HQs, we can just remove them, of course. So we will go for take you out, and then yeah, everyone's got a HQ there, which is fantastic. So that's a 10,000 ton HQ. So that's 3 mechanized companies ready to go, ready to roll. We might have more of an ad hoc invasion force, to be honest, which is just full of armored forces. That's going to be a lot of armor. A lot of armor indeed. But we're going to need infantry, to be honest, here. And in terms of our research on that, we're researching that right now. So we should be able to get that underway somewhat shortly, hopefully. We completed a kill capacity upgrade for our shipyard. So that was for 20,000, and that's for the new Soryu class shipyard here, for what will be the new Blizzard class escort carrier, which will be the new mainstay. We'll have less range, but will be more matched and more useful for it. 3 Yangtze class vessels, the Bavaria, Sussex, and Victoria, just finished up. They've been assigned to the carrier reserve for some reason. Yeah, they've been assigned to the carrier reserve for some reason, so we're going to attach those, and we're going to bring them into the destroyer reserve. I can now start dishing these out accordingly. So this destroyer squadron, that can go over to this guy, and then we can move over the Bavaria into this, and we can move you down here. And then, because of this destroyer squadron, you have 2 DDGs, so we will go 2 DDGs, there we go. And so now Carrier Strike Group 2 is pretty much done. We need to obviously retool the Tethys. And then we have another DDG here, but looking fine so far on these other ones. You're fine, ODP. You can go to the 3rd Carrier Strike Group. We can move you down here. So yeah, those are 3 more Yangtze class vessels. And that will be the last batch order of Yangtze class vessels for now. Because I want to start producing the Harunas. But the Harunas are going to need those engines to be researched first before that can happen, of course. So we've, of course, got to wait for that. Complete research into Colonel, which means we can now begin our research or our building of proper new infantry battalions. So we can create an infantry battalion that will be basically 2 times this. So 629. We're going to go for infantryman PWI. We're going to need new infantrymen, no? Weapons penetration. We probably do want to go for a new improved infantry set of forces, which is what I will do. So we will go for, let me just grab the name and copy that so that it's easier. infantry, paramilitary armor, improve personal weapons, and then we will go for PWA and make this 0026. Create. And then we'll need light anti-vehicle. And then create. And we will get both of those underway immediately. So ground combat, let's get that done, that queued, and that queued as well now. There we go. 1 day increments now. Okay. Another F4 trade. I believe that should be enough F4s to begin moving around. Yes, that is. So we will detach these. And I'm going to assign this to the Yucatan. The Yucatan can now act as an escort squadron. So what we will do is we will use this for, if we go to commercial C left, freight group. So you've got currently the Quebec protecting you, as far as I can tell. Yeah, you've got the Quebec protecting you. Freight group 4, freight group 3. Freight group 3 we will give you protection. So we will send in the Yucatan. So we're going to detach the Yucatan. And we're going to have you join freight group number 3 as a subfleet. So head over there as quickly as you can. We discover the system of Centaurus. Okay, what is in Centaurus? Interesting. So a dual system, pretty big in fact. We have a terrestrial world, we have various other worlds, and quite the distance indeed. No, it's not. Is it how far there is? 50 million kilometers. It's not absurd. It's not an absurd distance. The Zukaku M was just built, so that's a new one. We can then assign that over to the mobility squadrons. So if I just close this up and we go into mobility, so tuna, I'm going to say that's over to transport. So that now gives us a capacity of 250,000 tons. So it can be 250,000 tons of ground forces at once and as needed, which is obviously a very, very, very good thing. We need to get some HQs to actually hold all these companies, though. these forces. Like I need a tank battalion with the actual headquarters for that battalion. So I need to. I mean, how many forces is this? Regimental HQ, 25,000 tons. We're gonna need a bigger HQ than that. We'll go for a static headquarters, and so that will be 40,000 tons each. Was what I put it on for. Yeah, 40,000 tons. That'll be 50,000 tons. So we'll go for HQ capacity of 50,000 tons, and we'll call this regimental HQ 50k year 0026. Put that on void combat, create that, and get that under immediate research once more. Again, there's a lot of rebuilding and rearming that we're having to do here to prepare ourselves to actually really take the fight to the enemy here. And it's gonna be one hell of a fight. That's for damn sure. Right, and we now got the 155mm underway. Yucatan has joined freight group number 3. So what I am going to now do is go over to freight group number 3. So that'll be in our commercial silo. We're going to rename this to Escort Squadron 6, as far as I remember. Yeah, Escort Squadron 6. And then I'm also going to put on here standing orders. Deployment exceeded, resupply and overhaul at a nearby colony. Matterhorn completes the overhaul, and that's good news. We can research 155mm cannon. So we can now begin looking into the new. Well, we need a new HQ, right? So we have 10,000 ton HQ. But what we'll do is we'll create a new formation. We'll call this artillery battalion. We'll call this a battery, artillery battery. And we'll give this name art. And I'm going to also rename this actually to, rename template to medium artillery battery. And we're going to put in the 155mm cannons. So we're going to put 200 of these in. That'll be 10,000 tons. So 195, 190 guns. Yeah, 190 guns. 200 cost, medium artillery batteries. We will train up an immediate 3 artillery, 4, 5, 6. No, we'll train up just 6 of them for now. So 1, 2, 3. And those will be done August of next year. 5-day increments coming along here. We're starting our surveying. The tethers has been refitted accordingly, which now means that this group has the new tethers class design, and we can begin construction of new Aberdeens. So we're going to create the Calm, and we're going to get Callisto. We obviously need to get our in capacity up. We are producing as many of these missiles as we possibly can, but it is simply not enough for now. We discovered a new jump point in Tau Ceti, so the blue whale can actually go through that jump point. You are in an okay position. Yeah, you're in an okay position. So go through the unexplored jump point. That'll be 3.4 days. And we discover a system of Shaka. And Shaka is a barren system with basically nothing in it. Well, you know, that's what can you do? Okay, construction F29. I got a new active sensor on the way, so that is our sensor and fire control situation sorted out for us. I think that is. Nerox MCV commercial ion drive. Let's put the research now into power and propulsion because that's really hanging us up. Reached commercial capacity. The Devonshire has sorted itself out at Earth, so that gives 60,000 tons now on this shipyard, which is fantastic news. And that does mean that we can begin building as soon as we have, I believe, if I go over to my ship design window. So we're currently waiting for the Luthien class carrier. We're currently waiting on those engines, which are very big, very power hungry. And we're going to need quite a few of them. Speaking of that, yeah, fuel is looking okay here, but we're going to have to wait. 2 more destroyers completed their overhauls, which is good news. Continuing to build out more vessels. And Ganymede completes their overhaul, which is good. How is our maintenance capacity coming? We have, yeah, we're running up against it. Once that naval shipyard completes, we'll produce a few more maintenance facilities. We'll try and keep on top of it at least somewhat. Research into Nerox MCV done. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new formation template. We're going to call this Combat Engineers. And we'll just call this Combat NGs. Combat Engineers, and now we name this to a battalion. Combat Engineer Battalion. See? And then we will put in these new MCVs that we just got. So we're going to put in 30 of them. So there we go. And then I'll put in a kernel for the 10,000 ton HQ. There we go, right there. So we will train up a combat engineer battalion to be constructed as well. And that'll be done on June 28th. Naval Mobility Group 2 finished their orders, so that should now mean we have surface assault weapons on Invictus. We do. Let's turn active sensors on for that. We also have probably another set for another STO. We'll keep those on Earth for now. 3 mechanized companies are ready. We're continuing our research. We should have our new infantryman done shortly. Research into PWI, PW. Research facility available. Let's get that into a salvage module. Let's get that on the way. We'll assign new into that. We should have that on the way shortly. New research into infantrymen done. Production of naval shipyard done. We're going to begin expanding this shipyard out because we're going to need it. So still up the way add. But now we do have those new ground forces. Let's actually begin designing them. Well, not adding them to the template. So we are going to create infantry battalion. We're going to obsolete these 2 first off. There we go, obsoleted. And then I'm going to begin adding in how many of these do we have? We have 75, so we'll do 150 light anti-vehicle, and then we will do 1200. It's 68, right? Or 29, 68. So 1258 ground forces total. And then obviously the 10,000 ton kernel HQ on, and that gets us the formation. We will then delete the old template. There we go, infantry battalion now available. And we will begin pumping out these new infantry battalions as needed. So just start spamming those out here. Okay, 1-day increments. Finding more stuff. We're getting a lot of time actually going through here. Commercial iron drive done, which should now mean that we can begin construction. Yeah, we can begin construction efforts of new designed crafts. If I go over to the current, this vessel, we're going to begin retooling for the new Block 2. Oh, what I'll actually do, is I'll change out our colony ship. Because, you never know, we might want them. So colony ship. Yep. We will take out, we will copy class, we will rename this to the Block 2. We will take out the old engines. And we will input in 4 new commercial drives. There we go. 4 new drives. We will get rid of one of the fuel storages. We will put in new fuel. And then I will 40,000 tons. And then we will begin tooling for that design instead now. So retool shipyard for Benares Block 2. Get that underway. 5-day increments. Commercial Freight Group 2 finished up here. I believe, were you moving infrastructure over? If I remember correctly, yes, we had begun moving a lot of infrastructure over here, which is good. We now have 1.56 million workers available. We also have 3.3 million workers available, so let's actually start moving some other stuff around. So let's go over to our commercial freight group 4, freight group 3, freight group 2. You have 3 transports available, same 5,000 tons. We're going to begin to move over. We're going to begin to move over mines to Europa. So unload installations, refuel from Earth. I'm going to repeat this. Let's move over 30 mines. We'll repeat this 9 times, 145 days, and get them on the way there. Gravitational survey done in Act 2. The Great White can now probably head back to Earth. No, you can go through into Caledon. Go see what's happening over there. Damage report impact on commercial vessels in Talos. There's still an enemy in Talos here, and yeah, there should be an out-of-bound system. I'm going to make this an out-of-bound system because that's just going to feed them. So military restrict Talos, military restrict all these systems. We're not. It's unfortunate, but there's not much we could have done about that. 1-day increments here. And quite a few years now going by, and our commercial shipping is doing absolutely great for us. In terms of shipyard tasks, in terms of this shipyard, we're still waiting to get that size up until we can actually build those new supply vessels. We've got the newest ion drive, so when that's done, we can begin actually looking at building our newest carriers. Production of large troop transport base done on Earth. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start production. So 100 new ordnance factories immediately. At 25% capacity. The remainder is we're going to go into construction factories. I'm going to begin producing 100 new mines as well, I think. But I'm going to shave off 5% capacity. I'm going to direct that over to maintenance facilities. So 50 new maintenance facilities at 5%. Get those built up because we are going to slowly run out of capacity here. We're also, our fuel situation is not going great. How is that fuel situation now that we've changed it up? Seems okay to me, yeah. Seems okay to me. So we just go and harvest that fuel and then bring it back, which is what we want, obviously. We should be able to, if we have a look at our current fighter reserves, go over to fighter reserve. We have 14 F4s now available. We have 6 F3Bs now available. Shipping is going great. Science Team Regimental HQ done. And that now frees up our ground force construction capability. I'm going to put 5 labs into researching heavily powered infantry armor. I'm going to put the rest of the labs into getting ourselves new ceramic composite armors to be researched. Because if we can get that before the deadline on some of the research, that would be fantastic. I'm also going to start putting in some research on active grad center strength. But no, that means that we can now begin to make new infantry regiments. So we'll make a new infantry regiment with a regimental headquarters. So regimental HQ, 1. And then we're going to put in logistics vehicles. So we're going to need 180, I believe. Yeah, no, we'll need 160. 160. 156. How about that? Yeah, there we go. Okay, infantry regiment done right there. Then I need tank battalion. HQ. I'm going to need 156 as well, and then also need the another HQ on top of that. So regimental HQ, 1, done. Then for artillery, we're going to need artillery battalion HQ, and then we're going to need to do the exact same thing. So put 1 in there, and 156 vehicles. So regimental logistics vehicle 156. And then we need to get those ordered up immediately. So we're going to do, we're getting a lot of stuff trained up here, but we're going to do, okay, artillery battalion. We don't need that battalion. Then we're going to need tank battalion. So 3 tank battalions. We're going to need infantry regiments. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 infantry regiments on the way. We're going to need a lot more stuff being trained up, that's for damn sure. It's still going to be a while until we can begin a retaking of any of these colonies. Retooling for the new fighters is done, which is good news. So what we're going to do is we're going to begin a retooling effort, if possible. Retool freighters, no, refit is what I was trying to say. So begin refits. We might not be able to, honestly. We'll have to wait. I will construct then 4 new or as many new vessels of these new Anking class vessels as possible. Shipyard fleet 1, 1, 2, 3. Get those underway. Artillery batteries train on Earth. New training for artillery infantry battalions now. And yeah, shipping is going pretty good. We complete production of LTRMs. Now, what I do want to do with the remaining capacity is begin looking at mines. And what I mean by that is we're going to create a new missile. Get rid of the warhead strength. Get rid of the fuel capacity. And we're going to put no engine on. We're going to then have the second stage be the short-range Arashis. We're going to put on, 4 of these. So it'll have the same kind of power capability. It's got no engine. And we're going to put on an active sensor. So 1 active sensor. And we're going to put on a resolution 15. 15. So that gives us a 2 million kilometer range. And then it will launch a immediate missile at any enemy that it would otherwise find. I would like if I could have a different, an adjustment here, but what I'm going to have to probably do is we can put an EM. I'll put an EM or a thermal sensor on. I'll put 0.2. There we go. 0. 0.2. 0.18. 0.16. 0.167. 0.168. There we go. And that gives us an EM and thermal sensor signature as well. We're going to call this the Mark 1 space mine. Create this design. And what we'll do is we'll sit these around jump points around areas, and they will be obviously very, very useful in that capacity. So we're going to remove some labs from some of these, and I'm going to begin research into the Mark 1 space mine, which we will be primarily loading onto frigates and other vessels that we can then deploy to mine areas, which will obviously be very, very important. Commercial Freight Group 2 completed orders. I believe that was moving those mines over to Europa. Europa now has 1.5 million workers working. We're producing 4,000 tons of resources, a lot of uranium, in fact, which is very, very important. So I'm going to actually have them do the exact same thing again, because I honestly think that is going to be pretty damn valuable for us. So begin loading up mines, shipping them over to Europa, little installations, refuel from colony, and we're going to repeat that 9 times as well. There we go, and they'll begin moving those mines over. In terms of our mining situation, we have a lot of uranium still on Earth, but a lot of other resources which we are running out of. Galisite being one of them, which is why we need to begin mining these Galisite offshore or off-planet as much as we can. The Jellyfish completes their overhaul. Honestly, we're going to think about retiring these current exploration class vessels. We can see the current galaxy map. We've currently cordoned off Minerva and Proxima Centauri. Sigma Draconis is probably where I'll send you. Sigma Draconis, head on the way. And 1.5 increment. Capability capacity upgrade has completed, so I think that's for the 60,000 ton yard. Yes, it is. So we're going to retool this yard for the Megami class supply vessel. We're going to retool that. That'll be 0029 when that's retooled for. And that means that we're going to be stopping those tankers being produced. Discovered an enduring point in Centaurus. Research facility production completed on Earth. I'm now going to do the rest of this production into ordnance factories because the facts are right now we need to increase our ordnance production capability as much as humanly possible. We are going to complete up a salvage module here, which will be very, very nice here shortly. Okay, I'm going to retool this shipyard for the C1 rescue vessel. And I'm going to put this into fighter reserve. And we will create 2 C1 class rescue vessels immediately to be produced. And yeah, just keep incrementing along here. Research and salvage module done. And if we go over to a place like Nerox and we look at Rex, not Nerox, but Alpha, that's a lot of Rex. We need to clean these Rex up. So what we are going to do now is we're going to go into our class design window. We're going to go over to supply vessel. We're going to copy this design for the supply ship. And I'm going to create a new vessel, which is going to have a salvage module attached. We're going to remove the large maintenance bays. Yeah, new vessel. Take out the old engine. Put in the new engine. So I'm going to put in 2 new engines. We're then going to put in the salvage module. So set 500 tons per day. That's a 10,000 ton module. And we are going to rename this to a salvage craft. So salvage vessel, salvager. And then we need a cargo hold to actually hold all of this stuff. So cargo hold, tiny, 5,000 tons. We might need to, 5,000 ton hold is probably what we need. And I'm putting another engine on top of that as well. And that much fuel is fine, I think. We can get rid of the cargo shores, actually. So 25,000 tons, 2,200 kilometers per second. Yeah, this is pretty much fine. Cargo hold, we can probably put another cargo hold on. Yeah, cargo hold there, and then we can get rid of the fuel. Well, actually, may not want to get rid of all the fuel. 60 billion kilometers, and yeah, I don't think there's too much. I mean, I would like to get rid of. I would like to de-size it, but I don't think there's much I can. We'll just fill it up with these other cargo holds. Small cargo. No, I want small cargo hold. I want tiny cargo holds. So there we go. That's more like it. And then we can add in the extra fuel here accordingly. So fuel, and that then gives 9,500 tons. That gives us exactly what I want. And we will rename this to, I don't know, Ukrainian birds. Because for some reason, that's a big list of things. There we go. So salvager, the Balaban class salvager. That'll need a 30,000 ton yard to be constructed from. Which is not an easy thing to do at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the capacity of this shipyard to 30,000 tons, and then we'll be able to get those salvages out, which will obviously be very, very important. With this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin missile kinetics research. I'm going to begin researching, finishing this up, but then also immediately going into ordnance production capacity because we need it. We need more ordnance capacity to be able to produce because right now we just don't have enough. What was that big increment there? 30 years of service. Yeah, some of these admins have been in here for a long, long time. We're going to be finishing up a lot of infantry battalions coming up here soon, and then we'll be able to begin building out tank battalions. And then once we've got tank battalions, I'm going to start shipping them over to the enemy, well, to where the enemy is. Discovered a new jump point in Centaurus, which is fantastic news, and we're going to increment along. Europa should now have those mines. 360 mines now on Europa. It's mining a lot of resources. get me. Yeah, I want the best mining person possible on this colony. It's a very, very important colony that. We fit to Anking class 2. 2 C1s built at Earth. Let's order up another 2 C1s to be built as well. So fighter reserve, please. 1, 2. Get those underway. How much longer on this ion drive? 5 more days on this. Well, no, not 5 more days, but it's not that long. We haven't had any real run-ins with the raiders yet, except for that one incident. Unable to load infrastructure on Earth. That's Commercial Freight Group 1. Commercial Freight Group 1, we're going to have you stop then, and we're going to have you load up maintenance facilities and ship them over to Alpha 1. Unload all installations, head back to salt, refuel, and we're going to repeat these. Repeat 4 times total. So 12, 16, repeat, yeah, that'll be 20. Unload installations or main facilities there as needed. What did I see there about running out of fuel? The blue whale is running out of fuel, but they should refuel at Earth. Halibut needs new orders. We're going to actually keep you here now, I think. I'm going to stop survey, stop this. And we're going to begin scrapping. Exploration class vessels. Begin scrapping. We are going to scrap the new Explorer Issei. We're going to scrap the Halibut. Begin scrapping process. They're not worth to maintain right now. We will build a new class of vessels in the future. That'll hopefully be more than okay with. Same thing with the blue whale. We're going after this next one. We're done. It's been 30 years. They've done their job. But now they're too expensive in a lot of ways to continue. More Anking class vessels are coming up. The mineral shortage on Alpha 3 just happened because obviously we don't have a industrial capacity here. But we can begin moving over maintenance supplies to Alpha 3, which is what I will do. So if I go over to the Hyuga, if I go over to military space lift or commercial space lift, supply group 1. Load. Resupply from colony. Resupply from colony, and then head over to Alpha. Transfer maintenance supplies to that colony, and then head back to Earth and refuel. We should have the maintenance supplies on Earth to do that. Yes, we do have the maintenance supplies on Earth to do that. Our fuel situation is still not balancing out, but if we scrap some of these vessels and we do some more stuff around that, then it shouldn't be too much of a problem for us. 2 more Aberdeen class vessels, the Calm and the Callisto, just finished construction. So if we go over, what the hell did they get assigned to? They should be off fleet 1. They should not be getting assigned to. Should be off fleet 1. So we can assign those into their respective areas. So we're going to assign this guy to Carrier Strike Group 2. We then have these, so that's fine, but we'll put the Calm over into Carrier Strike Group 3, which should have, if we go over to Carrier Strike Group 3, yeah. We're slowly building them up, but now, both of these have pretty much exactly what they should have. Yeah, they're pretty much full. The question is obviously getting the ordnance. Getting that ordnance moved over is not easy, because we have a lot of ordnance needs required. Research into space mine done, which is good news. Right now, we are not constructing any missiles. That's bad. I want 300 Arashis at 75% capacity, and then I'm going to construct. Let's do 30 space mines to be constructed at a 25% capacity. 30 space mines to be constructed, and then I will also begin building another 30 LCRM 40s to also be built. Research into ceramic armor and new ion drive done, so we can use this just before we actually send these guys off into sea. Update the armor there. That's ceramic composite now, and that will allow us to up armor. Well, get us armor rating of 6 as needed, which is pretty nice. And then I'm going to do with the rest of the fuel. I'm just going to add in some additional fuel, which will give it additional range and additional other benefits. We're waiting on the magazine and the magnetic fusion mirror. Again, we can then update the armor on this design, which will obviously help. Can I get a 6th armor? Yeah, there we go. And then we'll just pad that out with some fuel. So fuel capacity, fuel. Oh, don't tell me. 0.1. Okay, get rid of these. And do a small. Small didn't work. Let's get rid of these. Let's do fuel storage. Then let's do small. Oh, that's going to be ugly, but we're going to have to do it like that. All right, update that gets a 6th layer of armor, which is very, very nice. We can update these guys' armor. That's good. We can increase the range if we wanted, or we can not increase the range. I mean, it does depend. Maintenance life is fine by me. 3-month deployment time is also okay. Yeah, I don't really have too much I want to do with this. I guess I can add in additional launchers. How much is the Mark missile launcher? Mark 1 launcher 300 tons. Yeah, not really possible. We can add in additional ones of these, but to get another 8 is still quite sizable. So, yeah, what I'll do is I'll add in some engineering spaces to get the maintenance down in terms of actual maintenance that we need. And then we'll just fill the rest in with the fuel. There we go. With the Luthian, yeah, you're fine. We'll have to obviously redesign some of these other crafts, but they'll be fine for now. But no, we need to begin researching the magnetic mirror fusion. But I forgot that I need to actually do the magazine. Because if we don't get the magazine, then we have some issues. So I'm going to put the as many labs as possible onto that, and that'll be done in October. So 5 research. Commercial supply group 1 completed orders, which now means that we have a colony here that can maintain 6,400 tons of capacity. With 15, that will, yeah, with 20, they'll be able to support 32,000 tons of forces, and then what I'll do with that is I will send over a full squadron to support that endeavor. And yeah, let's just keep doing 1-day increments. Commercial freight group 3, you can't continue. That's fine by me. Move to location and refuel. Okay, combat engineer battalion train on Earth. And yeah, I think that's where I'll leave the episode off. What will happen next episode is we're probably going to do the invasions then. We've built up our ground forces to enough place. We've gotten what we need ready. We just got to put the pieces together, get stuff sent over. We've made great strides on our forces. We've got 2 full carrier strike groups ready to go, ready to operate, and ready to fight. And we have 2 full destroyer squadrons. We've got nearly 4 full destroyer squadrons ready as well. We have a significant amount of tonnage and a significant amount of ground force capability that we should be able to beat them back. And so far, we haven't really spotted them being able to do much of anything. So yeah, I'll see you guys next episode. Please like, comment, subscribe. Again, more lull before the storm. Hope you guys did enjoy the planning and kind of all that other stuff. But I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.